absolutely hate that word, debt. It basically tells you you've got no money. But what about the world? The world doesn't appear to have any money either, considering it's got $102 trillion worth of debt. What are we going to do about that then? Well, in this video, I want to address the fact that some countries have got more debt than other countries. And which country has the biggest debt of all? Do you know, Caroline? Shh, don't tell them, don't tell them. Oh, don't tell them, no. Anyway, while you're here, please beat the old like button and maybe subscribe to the channel. And maybe that little... oh, crikey, there we go. Oh, I'm getting my arms aching again. Yeah, and maybe support the channel. You can do that via Patreon or buy us a copy of the links down below. Blimey, oh, this is quite scary actually, how much debt there is in the world, my darling. 102 trillion, that is a lot of debt. Now I don't think of the United Kingdom in the sense of pounds sterling, so around 2.7 trillion in debt, which is also a considerable amount of money for a relatively small economy of around 2.7 trillion. So our debt matches our GDP, and the GDP in the United Kingdom has basically become of less value because of Brexit. Yeah, stupid people voting for stupid stuff, you know how it goes. Well, it ain't the worst though. No, in fact, by no means. Now, as a percentage of the world debt, and don't forget in relationship to the population as well, some countries have more population than the United Kingdom, such as the United States. Starting at the worst, it happens to be the United States. Now, what I find a little bit odd is that China is up there as well. It is actually the second worst debt holder in the world, and then it's Japan. That's not surprising. But it's funny that these two countries also own the majority of the US debt. They are pretty much the biggest custodians of US debt. China, for instance, 800 odd billion just under. That's a lot of debt, isn't it? I just can't imagine that kind of money just hanging over you. Trillions and trillions. How the hell are you ever going to get on top of that? I don't think you can. I really don't. I'm going to change my arm again. So, okay, so who is the worst? We know it's the United States, and as a percentage share of the debt, they hold 34.55% of the global debt. And then it's China, which holds 16.12% of the global debt, and then we have Japan, which holds 10.1% of the global debt. So they are the three worst countries by far, which seems rather strange that countries like China and Japan have got all this debt, yet they have been buying debt. Well, basically, not buying, I suppose buying debt. They've been basically giving the United States money in the form of bonds and what have you, buying bonds. It's just a promise, you say, a promise to pay. And even though they've got a debt, wouldn't it make more sense to actually pay off their own debt and actually, invest in the United States debt? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's a business proposition. After all, money makes money, doesn't it? And so does debt. Crazy, isn't it? Interest, you see, has to be paid.
France's debt is quite low compared to...
Yeah, but as a percentage of the world debt, yes. But you also got to remember it's actually a lot smaller. So,
they're very similar to France.
Yeah, I did have... Oh, here we go. Right, so the UK is 3.58%. Spain is 1.73%. What about France? France is 3.49%, so slightly under the UK. And then we go to Germany, for instance, which is 2.89%. And I found it quite unusual because obviously Greece had a massive debt problem, and not debt problem. Basically, they're bankrupt, aren't they, effectively? But their actual share of the national debt is relatively small. It's only 0.39%. So, yeah. But this is all relative to, obviously, the population. So, you also need to look at the per capita as well. which I did actually have on there, but now I've lost it. That's annoying. So anyway, where are my dogs? Oh, there's one there. There's Sebastian. And then we've got my Pandora. We no longer got our Wally dog, unfortunately. Really sad. I really miss him. Oh, I do. But these guys are fun too, that they are. And they are good company. So how are we going to get past this? You know, if you think about the United States, I keep saying the United States sneezes and we all catch a cold, don't we? And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, at the end of the day, what's happening is we are a global economy and we rely on each other. No matter what Reform Party might want, no matter what the MAGA might want, you know. You know, Brexiters and MAGAs, they're all crazy, you know. Stupid does as stupid does. And how are we going to turn this around, you know? I don't think you can. I think we're going to have to just nurse it. It's going to just be managed. It hopefully becomes just a managed debt. I think that's the best we can wish for. Because if the United States falls to bankruptcy, well, then we've got a massive issue, haven't we? Everywhere. But also, all you've got to think about is that, oh yeah, they could just print more money, but then you devalue money by doing that. Because people keep telling me, you just print more money. Print more money. Governments can just print more money. Well, they can, but it has a negative effect on inflation because you devalue the money. It's basically the same as supply and demand, and the same with the bonds in regard to national debt and stuff like that. You have to be very ginger with it. You tickle it effectively. If you're going to print more money, there has to be a reason for doing it. Obviously, you can't just flood loads of extra cash into the system by pressing a few buttons, because it'll just devalue everything, and you'll just send more inflation, and and less value. The dollar or the pound will just plummet if either country did that. That's why it has to be managed. You can't just print it. That's just, that's silly. I know people advocate for that, but it doesn't make any sense. All the respected economists, I don't mean economists that tells you that we're just going to have to give away the car industry and what have you because of Brexit, I'm not talking about them ones, even though it's what's happening. So anyway, debt is an issue, and I don't see a way out of it. I don't, not personally. And just printing money ain't going to be the answer. So it was a bit mad, really. Yeah? You tell me, what do you reckon? What can we do? Obviously we need a decent government, and that's not, for the United States, it's not going to be Donald Trump, is it, darling? What do you think of the orange one? Been tangoed, didn't he?
I think he's dangerous.
He's dangerous, he's very dangerous. And he clearly doesn't, with his tariffs, he used to make things downside worse. And then there's Keir Starmer, he's sort of wishful thinking.
Definitely better than Donald Trump, though.
Oh well, yeah. That's he's more of a human. He's human. He is. I don't think Donald Trump is human. He can't be. Not all. He's been petrified in orange dye in his spray tans. Anyway, it's time for us to go. Say toodaloo now. Say toodaloo. Oh.
Say toodaloo, Dora.